Good morning, good afternoon. Kent Bain with Nine Business Group and Elevate Chat. We have the pleasure this morning of Rob LeLacheur joining us. Rob, welcome to the podcast, if you will. Please introduce yourself, your company, what set you guys apart, what makes you different than your competition.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on, Kent. Appreciate the invite. And hello, everyone. I'm Rob LeLacheur. I own a company called Road 55. We're got a cool little studio. We're right here in the heart of downtown Edmonton. And what Road 55 is our first and foremost, we create content that connects, and we do that in a variety of ways. Video production, podcast production, a lot of design, social media management. I like to say we kind of start the conversation in the middle with I'm a seasoned veteran, if you will, in traditional media, digital media, and social media, and we kind of start with that unbiased middle because I say spoiler alert, it takes a little bit of everything working together to move the dial these days. Um, your first question, the what sets us apart? Um, Kent, I would I suffer from it. I joke I suffer from everyoneism, that I feel we have to do business with everyone. and taking that step back and realizing that we don't, and we're fortunate. We just celebrated our 5-year anniversary for Road 55, and those first couple of years, and then throw in the COVID mix as well. You're literally saying yes to everything and anything. You got bills to pay. But we've kind of grown to the point where we can be a little bit more, engaged in the conversation of how we can work with our clients to best serve them well. As I mentioned, we produce a lot, and while we have some clients that come to us just, can you make this for us? That's a commodity driven relationship, and I know where those end up. Eventually there's always someone a little bit cheaper, a little bit faster. So we work really hard to make sure that there's a value from our client side around the strategic lens, if you will, of not just what we're making it, but why we're making it and what we're going to do with it. And so we really look for those relationships with customers that understand that and value that, and that really makes for, I think, just a really strong and hopefully long relationship.
Cool. Wasn't going to ask the question, but it came to me when I watched your video on the weekend celebrating 5 years. What's the history of the name? Why Road 55?
Road 55, yeah, it's a bucket list road trip. I wanted to go on a 48 states and 7 provinces road trip with my family. There was the first Road 55. Now that's a huge trip.
No
And
kidding.
actually, as soon as the name popped in my head, the logo popped in my head, and I just loved the simplicity of it. And just as you're asking the question right now, it drives conversation. It's not just we're another blank creative company or blank marketing company. My wife and I and our little guy actually did a small version of Road 55. It wasn't so small, but we did a 55-day road trip this summer all throughout the United States. And I joked, as many were working from home, I worked from the road, and we had lots of fun.
Cool. I love it. Love it. In the last 5 years, what was the biggest challenge you faced? How did you tackle it? How did you solve it? And what was the outcome?
Yeah, so I myself, I'm so tired of the COVID conversation of you look back, literally half of our existence as a company has been under the dark shadow of COVID. That hit everyone equally, and I said, it wasn't a matter of thriving, it was just a matter of surviving, get through that period of time, just get to the other side. That's all you had to do. I would say, a realization that the tide comes in, the tide goes out. And with our clients, with our relationships, it's not always things that we do or don't do. Things change, right? Budgets change, priorities change, staff changes with the clients, and there's so many things out of your control. What is in my control, and I'm a massive advocate for it, is I call it, Kent, my own 5x5. Kind of go with the 55 theme. I do 5 things every day, 5 days a week, to grow my business. Now, that can be a cold call, it can be going for coffee, it could be, the conversation you and I are having right now, Kent. That's something, an activity, a way to connect with new people. It doesn't sound like much, but actually more times than not, I don't hit that number, but I never forget it. And I'm always striving for it. And I really do believe that if I adhere to that, good things will come out the other end. And so again, I just focus on what I can control, and I don't spend too much time worrying about some of the other things that are so out of our control.
I like that. I think that's a great way of looking at it, is just tides come in, tides go out, and whether it be this economic challenge or the one coming in 24 months or 48 months, don't control it, not within our purview, but ours to navigate and keep our eyes on the horizon. Thank
Yeah.
you for that one.
Yeah.
What is one thing you know now that you wish you would have known when you started in business?
Started in business.
Or maybe
Yeah,
started this
that's
business 5 years ago?
the we had an event last week, celebrating the 5 years, and I joked that I could not have predicted where we are today 5 years ago. And I think, you know, having a guide for yourself, a plan of like, this is where we're working towards, but being open to, the dynamic of change, and but still staying focused. And that's probably a challenge for many. I mentioned that our big umbrella is we create content that connects. And so as long as I can put something under that umbrella, whether it's an event or a podcast or a video or a virtual hybrid event, as long as it meets that, I feel like, okay, I'm fairly focused that way. But we're always discovering new ways to create those connections. We built a new studio last fall that I kind of said addressed COVID 1.0, and that was the days of the talking head Zoom call for messages of value was coming to an end, and for companies that they need to up their game to do that. And then we would kind of bridge into, we still want to get some live components, so we can hold 50, 60 people in here, but also not lose all of these newly discovered audiences
Hmm.
via Zoom. The broadcast, no one wants to lose that part of it. They've discovered these expanded audiences. Here we are and talking, we're a few hours apart. And so yeah, we built this, you walk in, kind of looks like a television studio almost. And so maybe 18 months ago, I wouldn't have pictured this at all, but always being a little open within your guided vision, if you will. Does it apply to that? Yeah. Okay, let's go.
That's great. I just made a note there. I love that. Direction and focus, but embrace and manage the dynamics of change. Take what you need from the change, take what you don't. Thank you. That's good. My favorite question. Well, that's my second favorite question. If there was a pirate in your business, what would they be stealing from you, and where do you think they would hide it?
Yeah. Well, easy answer for me is time. That they're thieves of time, and usually our own team gets caught in time going, not being allocated properly. And we try our best to, project creep is a really bad thing in our business. We're always working so hard to keep our clients happy, and all these little asks, can you do this, can you, oh yeah, sure, yeah, no problem, and that, and it is no problem until it's a problem. Right? You get really busy, and you've built this expectation of work that does not align with the scope of the project, or the ongoing work that we do, and we're in a pile of trouble at that point. So working with the team, sometimes it's a bit of an obstacle when you get into the conversation of tracking time. Everyone looks at it as a looking backward exercise, like they're going to get in shit for, oh, I only work so long on this. And I'm constantly having that, what, this is a go forward activity. This is us just trying to get an understanding of, what, we bit the bullet. We've committed to client X that we will do these things for them, and we think we within this allotted time. But going forward for the next one, we owe it to ourselves to at least have that understanding of, this project took 100 hours of work. We thought it was going to be 60. Well, don't do that again. We got to be a little bit better of shaping it for the next one. just in the spirit of, growing our company, or we'll never grow it. We'll constantly be spinning our heels in the sands of time.
That's genius. What is your definition of a successful business?
Well, I came out of a fairly corporate background, a big appreciation for that, but I went this direction, Kent, because I wasn't out to build this massive cubicle farm. I said right from the get-go, we want to have, like, 7, 8, ninjas on our team that we have fun together. We're working with fun clients. Um, I put it's on our website. We don't work with assholes. And it's funny, I've gotten a couple clients simply on that line and made them laugh. And we've made that mistake a few times. We've broken the rule, but as we get better and better, realizing that, what, we work in a really close, intimate way with our clients. We spend a lot of time with them. We want to have fun. We want to be appreciated. We want them to value the work that we're doing, and we want to make an impact on the work that we're doing for them and their business. I love creativity and I love business, and nothing gets me more excited than, what, we did these things and look how it positively affected their business. Or, what, maybe that one didn't work out so good, but we have a good active partner with us who understands that, what, we're going to retool, and we're going to point in a little bit of a new direction, and we're going to go at it again together, because we've discovered a way that maybe doesn't work as best as another option might be.
Fair enough. We don't work with assholes. Yes. So
We don't
much
work
better
with
that way.
assholes.
Yeah. I've said for years. No, I get it. I mean, my
Yeah.
mantra for years is fun. We got to have fun in business. We spend, as business owners, entrepreneurs, we spend 50, 60 hours, focused hours in our business, on our business, not to mention the hours we sometimes spend evenings and weekends thinking about it, being distracted by it. So if it's not fun, we're probably doing it wrong. So I think that's a great insight to take going forward. One last question for you, and this is my favorite. What does Rob LeLacheur want to be known for?
Well, I self-describe as I got one foot in the creative canoe and one foot in the business canoe, and so I think people looking at me with this guy is very creative. He's got a very creative team, but they do so with that business lens to it. Like, they've got that view to, they're not out to just make a creative commercial that's going to get awards for, didn't move the dial business wise, but it was really artistic and really cool. That doesn't really interest me on that front. So yeah, I'd say, creative fun with that grow the business mentality, and looking for ways that we leave a positive mark when we're long gone.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
One last plug, Rob. Where can people get more information on Road 55?
Yeah,
And
Road 55. Well, head to road55.ca if you want to see our website there. And if you want to connect online on LinkedIn, Rob LeLacheur, LeLacheur. It's a tough one to spell. I get it wrong myself sometimes. But and then on social, my social handle is at RJ Lolly, LOLLY, and would love to connect with people.
awesome. Thanks again for your time. You've been a great guest. Appreciate the time you've made for us, and have yourself an amazing week.
Thank you so much, Kent. I really appreciate the invite, and this is a fun conversation.
You're welcome. Thank you.